Mount Royal Park in Montreal, Canada. Mount Royal is a large volcanic-related hill or small mountain in the city of Montreal, immediately west of downtown Montreal, Quebec, Canada. The city of Montreal takes its name from Mount Royal. The mountain is the site of Mount Royal Park, one of Montreal's largest green spaces. The park was originally designed by Frederick Law Olmsted, who also co-designed New York City's Central Park, and was inaugurated in 1876, although not completed to his design. Olmsted had planned to emphasize the mountainous topography through the use of vegetation. Shade trees at the bottom of the carriage path would resemble a valley. As the visitor went higher, the vegetation would get more sparse to give the illusion of exaggerated height. However, Montreal suffered a depression in the mid-1870s and many of Olmsted's plans were abandoned. The carriageway was built, but it was done hastily and without regards to the original plan. None of the vegetation choices were followed. The park contains two belvederes, the more prominent of which is the Conde-Aronc Belvedere, a semicircular plaza with a Mount Royal chalet overlooking downtown Montreal. Built in 1906, it is named for the Pétain chief Conde-Aronc, whose influence led to the Great Peace of Montreal in 1701. Other features of the park are Beaver Lake, a small artificial lake, a snow tube and toboggan run, cross-country skiing trails, a sculpture garden and Smith House, an interpretive center. At the foot of the hill, overlooking Park Avenue, the park features the Georges-Étienne Cartier Monument, home to the Tam Tams, and a gazebo which has been named in honor of Mordecai Richler. The lush forest has been badly damaged, both by Mayor Drapeau's so-called morality cuts of the 1950s, to remove any opportunity for people to have sex in the bushes, and by the ice storm of 1998, but has since largely recovered. The forest is a green jewel rising above downtown Montreal and is known for its beautiful autumn foliage as well as its extensive hiking and cross-country ski trails. Biking is restricted to the main gravel roads. From 1885 to 1920, the Mount Royal Funicular Railway brought sightseers to its peak. After it ceased service, Montreal's No. 11 streetcar brought visitors to the peak. A roadway named for longtime but controversial former Mayor Camille Lienhoud, who was jailed during the Second World War for his opposition to Canada's war effort, now bisects the mountain. Ironically, Houd had been opposed to the idea of putting a road through the park. The park, cemeteries, and several adjacent parks and institutions have been combined into the Mount Royal Natural and Historical District by the provincial government in order to legally protect the rich cultural and natural heritage of the region. Wintertime. Mount Royal Park currently hosts a snow tube and toboggan run on one of the former alpine ski slopes, as well as 7 groomed cross-country ski and snowshoe trails which total 18 kilometers. With equipment rental available on site. One of the most popular activities to do on Beaver Lake is to skate. This activity is free if you have your own equipment. The former alpine ski slope featured a T-bar and a 30.5-meter drop. Mechanical lift devices were first installed in Mount Royal Park in 1945. In the 1940s, there were 2.5 miles of ski slopes available. A ski shop was first installed in the park in 1938. Prior to that, in the 1920s, one of the best ski jumps in Canada was the one on Mount Royal, near Côte des Neiges. Founded in 1840, the now-defunct Montreal Snowshoe Club, with members drawn from some of Montreal's prominent businessmen, would meet each week during the winter at nightfall on Sherbrooke Street near McGill College Avenue to snowshoe through Mount Royal Park, lit by torchlight. Club members began wearing blue toques on their outings around 1870. Recently, the tradition has been revived as the Toques Blues celebration by the Les Amis de la Montagne, a charitable organization that works to protect and preserve the park. Tam Tams. In the summer, Mount Royal hosts a popular activity known as tam-tams, or the Tam-Tam Jam, whereby a number of Montrealers and visitors play hand drums, such as gems, on the east slope of the mountain, near the Georges-Étienne Cartier Monument. The Sunday afternoon gatherings attract people of various backgrounds. Often, dozens of tam-tam players perform their art at the same time, encouraging others to dance. In addition, many children and adults participate nearby in a battle with foam-padded weapons. The tam-tams began in the late 1970s with a workshop on African drumming at a jazz bar on Ontario Street. It is not organized by the municipal authorities. Despite initial resistance by participants, the city now intervenes in the event, restricting commercial activity to registered members in designated areas and assigning police and first aid technicians to ensure the safety of those present. Although initially controversial in light of the event's communal and counter-cultural vibe, the police presence has not led to conflict. Jean Mans Park. Facing the mountain across Park Avenue is Jean Mans Park. A popular recreational area, Jean Mans Park features a playground, a wading pool, tennis courts, various sports fields, and in winter, a skating rink. Transmission Tower. The park is also home to the CBC's Mount Royal Transmitter Facility, which comprises two large buildings, one used primarily by the CBC and one used by the private television stations, and a very short, about 100-meter, candelabra tower, from which nearly all of Montreal's television and FM radio stations broadcast. Because of the proximity of this tower to public areas of the park, in recent years significant concerns have been raised about radio frequency radiation exposure. At several points formerly accessible to park users near the tower, radiation was found to be significantly higher than that permitted for the general public. The shortness indicated above was dictated by the maximum allowable height, 1,100 above sea level, dictated by the Federal Department of Transport because of the proximity to the flight path to Trudeau Airport nearby. The engineering challenge was to combine all the desired antennas in the limited space between the mountain top and 1,100 ASL, which led to the candelabra design. Mount Royal Cross. The first Mount Royal Cross was placed there in 1643 by Paul Chomedy de Maisonneuve, the founder of the city, in fulfillment of a vow he made to the Virgin Mary when praying to her to stop a disastrous flood. Today, the mountain is crowned by a 31.4-meter-high illuminated cross, installed in 1924 by the Société Saint-Jean-Baptiste and now owned by the city. It was converted to fiber optic light in 1992, and then to LEDs in 2009. The cross is usually lit in white, but can now be changed to any color, including the purple traditionally used upon the death of a pope. Beside the cross, a plaque marks the placement of a time capsule in 1992, during Montreal's 350th birthday celebration. It contains messages and drawings from 12,000 children, depicting their visions for the city in the year 2142, when the capsule is scheduled to be opened. Adjacent landmarks. Outside the park, Mount Royal's slopes are also home to such Montreal landmarks as St. Joseph's Oratory, Canada's largest church, McGill University and its teaching hospitals, including the Royal Victoria Hospital and Montreal General Hospital, McGill's Molson Stadium, home to the CFL's Montreal Alouettes, the McTavish Reservoir, Université de Montréal, the École Polytechnique de Montréal, the Elot Trafalgar Gleneagles Historic Block, and some well-off residential neighborhoods such as Upper Westmount and Upper Outremont. Like us and join us at Extreme Collections for more fun and knowledge.